Welcome, and thank you for being here and being engaged voters. Today we will hear from candidates both opposed and unopposed regarding their plans for the future of the parish and state Democratic Party. We would like to welcome our moderator for this event, storyteller and local podcaster radio host Joe Dupre Anderson. Rules and housekeeping for the night will be done by Joe Dupre Anderson, and our timekeeper will be Peggy Sabatier.
All right, family, how y'all doing? No matter where you may be logged in at or where you may be viewing from, welcome, 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 welcome. Now, the format of this town hall meeting each candidate will be given 2 minutes to give a short speech about their campaign and why they're running for office. The timekeeper will let them know when they have 1 minute remaining by holding up one finger. One finger. So you know, when you see the one finger, you got 1 minute remaining. Also, the timekeeper will do this at the 30-second mark. There'll be a fist put up. That means you got 30 seconds left. After that, there will be an alarm that goes off that lets you know that you have reached your limit. This will be followed by 2 questions, one from me, the moderator, and there may be a question from the audience, should the audience have a question. There may not be. We may continue to keep moving and going forward. We will start with opposed races and then move on to unopposed candidates in the order in which they appear on the ballot, starting with the DPEC and then moving to DSCC. This is not a forum. I say again, this is not a forum. Each candidate will give 2 minutes to tell the community about themselves and their plans for the coming 4 years. Please refrain, please, please. And I don't need to read this. I need to say this from the heart. Please refrain from attacking fellow candidates. We understand that everybody in here has offered themselves up to service. We understand that everybody in here wants to win. But when the smoke clears, we're still all on the same team. So let us have some decorum. Let us have some healthy conversation. And let us present to those who ultimately have the power, which are the individuals who vote, why we are the suitable candidate for them to vote for. Okay, with that being said, and hopefully that's all the house cleaning I got out. We're going to start actually at DPEC District 4. And your candidate that is coming is Clancy Ratliff. Y'all give it up for Miss Clancy Ratliff. Miss Clancy, come on, have a seat.
All right, hi. Thanks for letting us go first. I have to leave a little bit early to take my kids to the optometrist. My speech is going to probably be different from everybody else's because I'm actually here to endorse my opponent, Tia LeBrun, for this seat. I qualified on the last day because I thought, well, it's going to be vacant. I don't want it to be vacant. And so I qualified, and I've been on the DPEC for a while, and I'm familiar with the work and everything, but I'm excited to hand it off to someone else. So that's kind of what I'm here to say. People should vote how they want to, and if I do end up with more votes, I'm not going to be checked out. I'll still be active and go to meetings, but I just want to express my preference for Tia LeBrun. So that's my message to everyone. Thank you.
Okay. Well, Clancy, I'm going to ask you a simple question then, because my question is not applicable to you. So you're backing your competitor. Mm-hmm. I think that's quite noble. So with that being said, what would you want Tia to do when she wins?
Well, I think really I would like for Tia to share her experience running a campaign for sure, because that's really valuable experience that I do not have. And so that's something that I think the whole DPEC can learn from. I'd like to see everyone on the DPEC brainstorm to recruit candidates to run for local offices.
Okay, well, thank you. So now coming up will be the next candidate, the one that just got endorsed, Ms. Tia LeBrun. Y'all give it up for Miss Tia. Hey, Miss Tia, have a seat. Make yourself at home. I don't bite. You got 2 minutes. Tell folks your 2 minute why you should run for this office and why they should vote for you.
Because Clancy likes me. No. Hi, I'm Tia LeBrun. I ran for U.S. Congress against Clay Higgins in 2022. And it was my first time ever running for any elected office. I felt compelled to run because of the loss of women's bodily autonomy. I have 4 daughters and 3 granddaughters, so they're very important, and I would choose them over any unknown if their life is at risk. So that is a super important issue for me, that women get the right to make medical decisions along with their doctors and not with politicians in the way. I would like to support our DPEC efforts to engage the local community, to register more Democrats in our area, and register voters, period. People need to be more active. We don't have a healthy voting culture in our state, and I would like to see that change, at least locally. However we can all come together and encourage that to happen, I would like to be part of it.
Okay. Well, thank you. I have one simple question.
Okay.
As you know, Louisiana now, after the last gubernatorial race, is a ruby red state. And as an individual running for the office that you're running for, how do you plan on energizing the voters in your base to come out and support what you support?
I think that won't be hard for them to support what I support, because what I want is good for people and their families. I think that the way we frame it is going to be very important, and I would like to see us become more of one voice with that in our messaging to people, and more efficacious. So however we can do that, we can get a message that is relatable to people, that they will accept, that shows them that we care about them. That's what I would like to work toward. I don't think that will be super hard. Like we have right now in Lafayette, the possible closing of Paul Bro, our historic black high school, and it's been a successful middle school for many years now. And the community will come up and come to meetings about that and do something about that, because it's a shared cause. It's something that we can all agree is historic and important. So I think that issues like that locally, especially with a DPEC where you're working within the parish time frame, is going to be the way to go.
Thank you, Miss Tia LeBrun. Y'all give it up for Miss Tia LeBrun. So family, as I get ready to go through some of these other down ballot DPEC at large Lafayette Parish, remember this: your vote is your voice, and your voice has power, and you need to get engaged, get involved, get registered, and go vote. Next, we'll be talking about the DPEC at large Lafayette Parish. Now, there's 10 people that will be on the ballot, but you can only vote for 9. So I want to emphasize that again. There will be 10 folks on the ballot at this DPEC at large for Lafayette Parish, but you can only vote for 9. And I'm going to go through all the names, and we're going to bring the next individual that's going to be on the ballot up. For the DPEC at large Lafayette Parish, you have Ann Ardwin, you have Emily Broussard, you have Melanie Champagne, you have Consuela Sway Gaines, you have Mike LeBlanc, Peyton Rose Michelle, Don Michelle, Mary Pritchard, Jay Reagan, and Amy Robinson. Now coming up, we will have Emily Broussard. Y'all give it up for Emily Broussard. Hey, Emily.
Hi.
What's going on?
I'm a little nervous. I'm pretty new to all of this.
Okay.
But,
Well, relax yourself.
all right.
You got 2 minutes. 2 minutes starting now. Tell the people why they should vote for you.
I'm Emily Broussard, and I'm from this area. I'm from Lafayette. I've lived here a long time. I've been a Democrat, registered Democrat since I was 18. I was a baby Democrat before that, thanks to my mother. And honestly, I think like a lot of people, I've been feeling pretty discouraged, pretty dejected, particularly since 2016. And it was I'm always a voter. I vote, but I felt like almost like nothing that I did would make a difference. And then I got asked if I'd be interested in getting involved. So kind of felt like a message from the universe, because I want to be, even if it's a losing battle, you know, I still want to fight it. It's still worth it to me. It's still for our kids. You know, I have 2 kids. I know lots of, you know, our kids and our elderly and everyone. So probably the thing that also led me here was the issues that we've had with our library. I know everybody here knows what I'm talking about. I feel like with the library being one of the last free spaces, you know, and to see it at risk and the community services that it provides, I'm a big library user. I'm in there with my kids and in groups all the time. So, you know, I don't know how directly that could be affected, but I definitely think more Democrats in office, in local office, could only be a good thing. And I think, just lastly, especially since 2016, you know, I think I've been waiting for someone to come fix it. Like someone will show up and just take care of it. But I've realized that we have to be someone, you know, whatever that is going to look like. So, thanks.
Round of applause. So, simple question.
Okay.
Now you can push all the nerves away. Woosah.
Thank you.
Same question that I presented to
Okay.
Tia.
All right.
This is a ruby red state.
Yes.
How are you planning on energizing the voters and your base to come out and support you?
Well, first, I'm going to find some. I'm going to find some Democrats in Lafayette. I'm just kidding. I think, you know, that it almost feels like we have to be clandestine about being Democrats in the South, you know, for our jobs and our kids' schools and whatever else we may have going on. I got my car keyed when I put an Obama magnet on it, my first grown-up job. So, you know, I think that there are Democrats. Like, I mean, there have to be, but I think that everybody has to be quiet about it. That's what it seems like to me. And that's why it's been so cool to see, like, a progressive ticket, like progressives on the ticket who are not going to say, like, well, you know, I mean, I'm a Democrat, but I'm pro-life or whatever, you know, whatever you may have. So I think that visibility is the number one thing. You know, I didn't know what DPEC was before I got asked if I was interested, so I would like to see us really just sharing that information and how people could get involved. I think we should try to be visible and like visible as the Democratic Party at, you know, local events. And there's so much here. There's so much we could get involved with. And I think that the overall voter turnout is so low that I think that if we could get more Democrats registered, that could probably make a big difference. You know, it feels like an uphill thing, but
It is
maybe
what
not.
it is.
It
Correct.
is what it is.
Y'all give a round of applause for Miss Emily. Hold on, Miss Emily. See that? Now she ready to run. Ah, I'm done. Let's run. No.
I am. Yeah.
No. Do we have any questions from out of the congregation or from the public audience that's here? Is there any questions? And if none, then
Then I can go.
I can let you go.
I'm fine. I'll stay if you
Okay.
ask 10.
No. Seems to be there's no questions. So
Okay.
once again, a round of applause
Thank
for Miss
you.
Emily Broussard. Your next candidate will be Miss Melanie Champagne. Y'all give a round of applause for Miss Melanie. Hey, Miss Melanie.
Okay, do I stand or do I have to sit?
It's up to you.
All right.
That's
so-
totally up to you. 2 minutes, and 2 minutes starts now.
Yeah, so my name is Melanie Champagne. I am a mother of 2 great humans. I have a daughter, UL, studying for nursing, and I have an incredible second grader, who's actually the reason that I'm running for DPEC. So I've always been interested in local politics, and I've always been interested in a better world. And so my son has seen me come and go from meetings and library meetings, border control meetings, parish meetings. And last year, when we were going through the drought, he was asking me about what a drought was and how governments like take care of their people. And he said something that really penetrated my heart. He said that if he were in charge of the world, he would make sure that everyone had a drop of water before other people had more. And I thought, he gets it. He gets it. And I was like, I want Max's mom to get it. And so looking around and seeing the idea that where are our local candidates who are going to support those social safety nets? Where are they? So I decided to run for DPEC because I think it's our responsibility to ensure that we are diligently searching for and supporting candidates who want to make sure that our world is a place that helps us to thrive and a world that we pass down to our children. that allows them to live a life of dignity and a life that is thriving. And so that's why I'm running, because I don't think we should have to ask for policies that protect public schools, that protect public libraries. These are things that we should demand. And I want to find people who will demand and who will support those policies, because this is for all of us. This is for you and me, and this is for our children. And I think we owe them that.
Okay, thank you. You've heard the question. I'm asking the same question to everyone. What is your plans to motivate individuals in your party to vote for you and to be energized during this election season, in this cycle?
I love this question because if we don't figure this out, then the stakes are too high. So I like this question because I think our responsibility is to just remind people the beauty and the joy of democracy. Because when we don't have people who believe in that, we don't have voters. And when we don't have voters, we don't have a voice. And we let other people take the reins that may not have our best interest in mind. And so that's what I want to do. I want to find local candidates who are just not afraid to push for policies that protect our children, that protect our world, that or policies that have humane criminal justice systems. We shouldn't have to ask, but we should demand that we have an equitable system, public resources for all our communities and not just some communities. We shouldn't have to ask, but we should demand that we have humane ways that we are operating our resources, our road systems, and our families. Because if not, then we allow people who perpetuate really dystopian policies, dystopian execution methods. And I think that we deserve better. And I want to make sure that we are finding those candidates who will fight for us.
Okay, thank you. Round of applause. It seems to be we have no questions. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Melanie Champagne.
Thank you all.
Your next candidate coming up is Consuela Sway Gaines. Y'all give it up for Consuela. Hey, Miss Gaines, what's really going on?
You?
And your 2 minutes starts right now.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Consuela Sway Gaines, and I am an organizer for a nonprofit organization that focuses on criminal justice reform. I'm also a student. I'm a dog mom. And I love people, and I know that here in Lafayette we have a different type of culture, and the reason that I decided to run for DPEC at large is because I was tremendously disappointed in the last election, because as I looked at the ballot and I saw so very few Democrats on that ballot, I was like, what is going on? And when I really began to start researching and listening to what was going on, I was like, okay, I've always been a results-driven type of person. And when I see something is wrong, I believe in taking action to fix it. And so I decided to become a candidate for DPEC at large because I wanted to be a part of the solution and to be able to figure out what is best needed for the Democratic Party in Lafayette, and to make sure that we really start listening to Democrats in our area.
Well, thank you. Give a round of applause. And the question I have, Ms. Gaines, or should I say Sway? I'll say Sway.
Is good.
Sway is good. Same question I presented to everyone, because the reason I keep presenting this question is because that is the hurdle that I believe needs to be conquered in order for some real changes to be brought back in the state. So how do you plan on motivating the individuals at your base and the voters to come out and vote for you?
Well, to me, it's pretty simple. The one thing that I do is listen well. I listen to people and I listen to their concerns. And I like to sit with them and try to hear what they best feel like are the best solutions. And so to be able to be someone who's willing to sit and listen and really hear people's concerns and really hear what's important to people, because I think that's what's missing. People aren't really listening to people anymore. And to be able to move forward in the right direction is going to require people who actually listen and hear what people are concerned about. Because if we're just, going off our own and not really talking to people and having conversations, with people, we'll never really know what other people want or what other people need. Too much, we make it our own problem instead of people's problems. And that's what it takes. It's going to take a candidate who is going to be one who is going to be an issues candidate. It's not going to be my issues. It's going to be the people's issues, because my issues may be different. And so I'll be able to really listen to people and to make sure that we find candidates who can actually represent and drive those issues and be results driven to get those issues taken care of when people elect them.
Thank you. Round of applause. Ms. Consuela Sway Gaines, I don't see any questions coming from the public. Coming up next will be Mike LeBlanc. Y'all give a round of applause for Mr. LeBlanc. Mr. Mike, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing fine.
Yes,
So, as long as I don't bump into a chair.
happens to all of us.
Okay.
Your 2 minutes starts now.
Hello, my name is Mike LeBlanc. I have roots in the old left. My father was organized by the Congress on Industrial Organization. That's a very progressive union for the 1940s. I myself have roots in the new left in the 1960s in opposition to the war in Vietnam. I'm also a progressive. I've kept up with issues my whole life. I have 8 years of post-secondary education. I bring a whole lot of technical skills to this job if I'm elected. Some of those technical skills deal with mapping, deal with demographics, deal with analysis of voter lists, and I've used those skills to help other Democrats in the past get elected. I've used those skills to write letters. I've used those, and I've worked for Lafayette Consolidated Government. I've worked as a consultant for other governments, so I know how local government operates. So we have a wonderful opportunity in this state, but really we should focus in on our particular parish. Our particular parish has a wonderful, diverse culture, and if we reach within that culture, I think we'll find opportunities to organize. How do we organize? We go to public meetings. We listen to people, like Consuela said, and if I'm elected, well, I'm going to try to organize people to go to public meetings, particularly to the school board, particularly to the local government council meetings. Those are important meetings to attend. And I'm running almost out of time, and I'm going to say, again, my name is Mike LeBlanc. Vote for me. I'll try to do the best job I can. You can call me up anytime, and I'll take your call. Thank you very much.
Round of applause for Mr. Mike. Mr. Mike, look, I've been presenting the same question since the beginning. How do you plan on energizing your base, the voters, to come out and vote for you and to move forward the agenda that you have?
Well, the way to do that, my voters are going to come out, and I'm going to talk to individual people. I mean, I'm not even going to try to articulate with social media. That's just how it works. Voice my hand, putting in somebody else's hand, asking for your vote works better than a lot of stuff that happens on social media. That's the first thing. The second thing we need to do, like I've mentioned before, is that we need to go to public meetings. We need to be there. We need to understand issues. Some of the issues that we need to talk about is what happens at the library. What happens to the closure of Paul Brook? What happens with, it was a wonderful opportunity that we didn't take, but we should have. We should have pursued the rezoning of bed and breakfasts, particularly on the north side of the community. That wasn't done. We should have done more. And that's my answer.
Thank you. Round of applause.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Mike LeBlanc. Your next candidate will be Peyton Rose Michelle. Come on up, Peyton. Get right here. You can either have a seat or you could stand. Peyton said, I'm on my way. Your 2 minutes starts now.
Thank you so much. My name is Peyton Rose Michelle. I use she, her pronouns, and I've been an advocate here in Louisiana for over 8 years. I'm currently serving on the DSCC in my home parish of St. Martin Parish. But during that term, I moved here to Lafayette, and I'm now a proud Lafayette resident and voter. So I wanted to make sure that I, engaged in our local politics and, invested my energy into all the ways that I could. I think, it's so important that as a person who does so much statewide work, that I reach down into the parish and ensure that I don't overlook the parish, because so much politics happens on a local level, and in localities you're the most powerful. So I wanted to make sure that I invested my energy into engaging here on the parish level, and I look forward to engaging with Democrats, having real democratic values, and fighting for the people, because right now I think it is just Louisiana is really going through it, I guess I'll say, to be short. And I think it is an all hands on deck situation. And so here are my hands, and they're on deck.
Y'all give a round of applause. Peyton Rose Michelle. Peyton, I've been asking the question all through this forum,
Yes,
and I'm going to ask the same question to you. How do you plan on energizing the base of the voters to come out and vote for you and to stand on the issues that you stand for?
Yeah, I think as a young person, I see young people constantly left out of politics. I think a lot of Louisiana Democratic politics leans moderate in the hopes to collect older voters, and it really leaves behind younger voters, because younger voters tend to be more progressive and they tend to be more, just explorative in their politics, I guess is a good way to put it. So, I think as a young person, I really hope to show young people that not only should they vote and register to vote, but they should get involved and invest their own energies into, their community. I think so many young people feel like their voice doesn't matter, or that, their vote doesn't count. I think a lot of Democrats in Louisiana feel that. So I just, in this election, your vote matters. And I hope that, engaging in an election like this, where your vote really matters and you get to engage with people that you, can care about and connect to, I think that will, I think there's a path to caring about politics that's really important. And I think that's how people get involved, is to care about people and get involved and, feel that energy, because without it, we have what we have right now.
Round of applause, Peyton Rose Michelle. Your next candidate will be Don Mitchell. Hey, Don.
Hello.
What's going on, my friend?
Hi.
Don, your 2 minutes starts now.
My name is Don Mitchell. I am running for DPEC at large because I believe in democracy. I grew up in a democracy, and I want to die in a democracy. I want my daughter to grow up in a democracy. And I feel that the democracy of our country is at stake. And I just want to reach people. I want to reach young people to put themselves in a position where their life could be better. You see, and I want to provide a better life, not only for my family, but for yours. And I am here to just use my talents, my gifts to benefit the Democratic Party. And I know how to design websites, business cards, logos, and things like that. And I want to use my talents to help benefit those that are here for democracy.
Give a round of applause, please, Mr. Don Mitchell. Don, I've been asking the same question. It's not going to change. And you've heard the question throughout the whole course of this forum. What do you plan on doing to energize the base? And before you answer, let me explain midways why I asked this question. Mm-hmm. Of course, if you look at the numbers, and those who do, there's been a horrible turnout in voter engagement in voting.
Yes.
And so that's why I'm asking each candidate, including yourself, what are you planning on doing to get those voters who choose not to engage to begin to engage?
By speaking to their pain. I've experienced pain in my life, and I understand the pain that people are going through with our current political system. And I want to speak to their pain, and I want them to understand that they are not alone. I want to reach the marginalized community, those that have been forgotten, those that have been betrayed by both political parties. I feel that the political party in Louisiana have betrayed its citizens. And I am here to change the dynamic by speaking to people's pain and their agony and showing them what I could bring to the table to help benefit their life.
Thank you. Round of applause, please. Thank you, Mr. Don Mitchell. Your next candidate will be Miss Mary Pritchard. Y'all give a round of applause for Miss Mary Pritchard. Hey, Mary.
Hello, how are you, Joe? Thank you for being here.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Your 2 minutes starts now.
All right. My name is Mary Pritchard. I am the current chair of the Lafayette Parish Democratic Parish Executive Committee, and I am running for re-election because we came into this 4 years that we're just finishing in the beginning of the pandemic. And so we spent a lot of time, I've only been chair for the past 2 years, we spent a lot of time building a strategic plan and just really building a very good team and getting some institutional knowledge back. And so I would like to share that institutional knowledge moving forward. We have a lot of new candidates. We have a lot of young candidates. We have teachers. We have minorities that are coming on that we haven't seen before that are unopposed. And then also with only 9 seats but only 10 candidates, we'll have a really diverse DPEC. I will not leave even if I don't win this election, but I am asking for your vote because I am really excited to continue to work on the DPEC as an elected member of the DPEC. Thank you.
Y'all give a round of applause, Miss Mary Pritchard. I'm going to say this every time because it's a rhetorical question and everybody's already heard the question. Mm-hmm. So what are your plans to energize the base of voters who have been very stagnant? The numbers say it. What do you plan on doing to energize that base to come out and vote?
Okay. So I moved back to Louisiana. I'm a Lafayette native, and I moved back to Louisiana 10 years ago, and I couldn't find the DPEC. I couldn't really find the state party, and I was really lost. And I would like to make sure that we are getting out in the community. And in 2016, I actually started a precinct organizing project where I knocked on people's doors in multiple precincts with people who lived in the precinct. So I would really and truly like to engage the DPEC and also community members to start knocking on people's doors. We'll do it in a safe manner. I know with our current legislation about open carry and concealed carry and things like that, seems like a little scary thing, but if it's within your comfort zone, I invite people to come and knock on people's doors and talk to voters in their district. And I'm running at large, and so my district is Lafayette Parish. I really and truly would like to bring as many Democrats in as possible and show them that their vote does count.
Thank you. Round of applause, Miss Mary Pritchard. So as we continue this conversation in this town hall meeting, your next candidate will be Jay Reagan. Give a round of applause for Jay Reagan as he makes his way up here. Once again, family, I emphasize you need to get engaged, get involved, and get registered, and go vote. Jay, your 2 minutes starts now.
I'm Jay Reagan. I go by they, them pronouns, and I am a candidate for the Lafayette DPEC at large. I've never been a political candidate in my life, and I wasn't a regular in the Democratic Party until last year. The reason that I joined this race and the reason that I became so involved in the party and in making sure that we can have a progressive future for our party is because of the results last November. They were honestly embarrassing and they were terrifying. As a queer person in Lafayette, hearing the words that Governor Landry and other elected officials, Republican elected officials, say about our marginalized communities, not just the LGBT community, but also black voters, Latino voters. It's terrifying, and seeing that we haven't had a strong party to stand up to that rhetoric is disappointing. And so I'm running to provide that voice. I'm running to provide diverse representation, and I'm running to introduce new ideas to our Democratic Parish Executive Committee. Thank you.
Now give a round of applause. Jay Reagan. But Jay, you know, I've been saying it all the way through, all day today. And I want to emphasize that again, and I'm kind of breaking up the monotony by saying this. There are too many good people out here who are registered to vote who won't go vote for some unearthly reason that I have no idea what it is. What is your plans to energize the voter base to come out and vote for you and to vote for the principles and the ideas you stand on?
So to start that question off, I really don't think that we're as ruby red as people think. We are an incredibly diverse state, and specifically Lafayette Parish is one of the most diverse in Louisiana. We have a thriving queer community. You know, we have bustling black businesses, and we have a university right there down the road filled with young people who don't vote. Only 80% of young voters in Louisiana turn out regularly. And that's where we need to start. We need to start in these marginalized communities. We need to have deep conversations with them and show them that we care, that we are the party that will stand up for democratic values, for progressive values, and for liberty. You know, Republicans like to bill themselves as the Liberty Party, but we need to show our Lafayette and Louisiana voters that the Democratic Party actually holds that label. We need to bring back the College Democrats, a project that I'm currently working on with my partner, a UL student. And we need to hold events on UL's campus. We need to hold more events like town halls. We need to hold forums. And we need to sponsor candidates speaking every opportunity that we can get, because we need to show that we are here and that we are at the forefront of the battle for the soul of Louisiana. Because the soul of Louisiana is not red. The soul of Louisiana is for liberty, and it is for progressive values, no matter what they call it. And we need to fight for that.
Give a round of applause. Jay Reagan. Jay, thank you. Thank you. So we do have a question coming from the audience. Jay, here comes the question.
I've been waiting. Okay, so I'll keep it short. I'm probably a couple decades older than you, a fellow queer person, and I am constantly looking for reasons to stay in this state. Not necessarily in this area, I love it here, but in the state, it's very hard. Obviously, we have people who are actively legislating against our very existence. We have to insist on a Democratic Party who's not afraid to talk about a woman's right to choose, whether even if it's local, okay? And we have to be able to have them embrace the queer community. Candidates here don't do that. So how does the DPEC now keep those sorts of issues and look for, say, a candidate in Youngsville who's willing to challenge the person on the library board so that they're not putting in policies at the library here that sort of eradicate our existences? How do we put in the work to find those people, those Democrats in, say, more ruby red districts?
Jay?
Yeah, it's definitely a dangerous time right now for especially queer people in Louisiana. And I think that to find these candidates, to challenge these deep red, representatives, we really just need to talk to everyone that we can, especially in these communities, because in a lot of safe red districts, a lot of safe red, cities, parishes, what have you, the people who are often going to be the most willing to challenge the incumbents are going to be our marginalized people, because those are the voters that have the most stake in the decisions that our lawmakers make. And I can tell you from experience, as a young queer person being involved in this party, the current DPEC doesn't do enough to reach out to those marginalized communities and recruit them to run for office. We saw a wonderful example with Naz Zeneman in last year's election, a member of one of our marginalized communities running for office despite the long odds, and we need to see more of that. So in short, we need to talk to people, and we need to actually reach out to minorities.
Thank you, Jay. Round of applause, Jay Reagan. Your next candidate coming up to the podium, to the stand, or up here to sit down and speak is Amy Robinson. Y'all give it up for Amy Robinson. Hey, Amy.
Hi.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Have a seat. Make yourself at home.
All right, I will.
Okay. Your 2 minutes. I'll let you get to your place. Starts now.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Amy Robinson. I'm currently the District 31A representative for the State Committee, and I'll have the pleasure of serving for the next 4 years on the State Committee as I went unopposed in this particular election. I have not served on the DPEC, but that has not stopped me from serving this community on a local level. For those of you that don't know, I have engaged in some projects that have made me rather unpopular with certain people in the community, and I've engaged in projects that other people did not want to take on, like chairing the recall for the former Marshal Brian Pope, and successfully getting him charged with an additional 18 felonies and removed from office. Myself, along with my friend Matthew Humphrey here, were represented by the ACLU to ensure that Lafayette was able to have a drag queen story time. So all politics is local, and I believe that here in Lafayette we can do a better job of recruiting candidates that represent our democratic values. We need to say them loudly, say them proudly, and stop veering from our planks. I was once sent a letter from he's now a former vice chair on this Democratic Party asking me to break with the national plank on a woman's right to choose. I told him not to ever bother me with that crap again. And what we need to do is adhere to our democratic values, stop the big tent party politics, and be real Democrats. There are real Democrats in the state. We have to stop compromising, and we need to recruit candidates that understand we can win as Democrats, period. So that's who I am.
Round of applause. She is who she says she is.
That is true. That is true.
All right, Miss Amy, of course you've heard throughout this whole town hall, I've had the same question. Now present that same question to you. How will you, and what is your plans to energize the voter base to come out and vote for you and to vote for the issues you stand on?
Okay, so I've said this many times, and a lot of people here today touched on it. Our voter turnout is abysmal. Why is it abysmal? Because we don't give our voters anything exciting to vote for. We don't recruit the right candidates. A lot of people here talked about some things, and I want to touch on them. Melanie talked about the things that we don't demand. We settle for things. Sway talked about the recruiting candidates and listening. We don't do any listening. We are very focused and tunnel vision on the things that we think are right, and we need to listen to one another. And that often includes people on the other side. All right? And when we have those one-on-one conversations with people on the other side, guess what? Minds change. And that is how you make change, by those one-on-one conversations. We have to have a state chair and vice chairs that do not co-sponsor legislation against our marginalized communities. And we have to have leadership that holds them accountable when they do things like that, period. We cannot have another 4 years of the leadership letting somebody do this kind of stuff, period. We are not Republican light. We are Democrats. There is a Democratic plank, and we can all do it. We can all vote for it, and we can all stand for it loudly and proudly, everybody. That's what I'm telling you. Oh.
Go, hold it. Does she still have time? Okay, she's out of time. So Miss Mary, hold on before I let you go. Somebody,
Amy.
Miss Amy. I'm sorry. See, I'll mess the name up in a minute. Pray for me. So Miss Amy, before I let you go, there may be a question. Anybody have a question for Miss Amy? Seems to be none.
Oh, I think someone wanted to ask what number I was on the ballot, and that's 96.
Okay.
Okay.
She made that clear. Give a round of applause, Amy Robinson. Okay, now we will go and once again, all the folks that had just spoke are DPEC at large for Lafayette Parish. There are only 9 spots. There are 10 individuals who are running. So I infer that you go back, watch this, hear where they stand, and when you see them out and about, ask them questions. Maybe I didn't ask all the questions because I'm only asking one. But we will continue to move forward. And now we will go to the unopposed candidates. From DPEC District 1, we have Amanda Anderson.
I didn't prepare anything.
She didn't prepare anything?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Sorry.
So since she didn't
I was just here to support.
So she's here to support, and she's unopposed. So a round of applause for Amanda Anderson. And DPEC District 5, Miss Nurika Ross, are you coming forward? Give a round of applause.
Hello, I'm Nurika Ross, and I'm before you today as a proud Army veteran and mother of 2. I have a 6-year-old and a 7-year-old, and as one of the youngest candidates, I really would like to encourage more young individuals to be involved, and for other, genders, demographics, whether political affiliation and whatnot. I really want everyone to come together because I believe our strength is in our diversity. And I want to bring fresh ideas and perspective because I think that's very important. And I think some people feel like their voices are being, some people in the community feel like they cannot say or reach out for help or reach out to anyone in their families, community, church group. I have several friends that are in our community, but they feel like because of their gender identity, they cannot reach people. And they come to me in private. Matt, I'm sure, met some people like that. And it's sad we live in a climate like that. And it really breaks my heart because I want everyone to feel comfortable being their true selves,
Okay. So, Ms. Ross, since you're going unopposed, I presented the same question to everyone, so I'll present that question to you.
Absolutely.
What do you plan on doing to energize those voters? And we know the numbers. The numbers are practically for every 3 people, 2 folks are sitting at home while only 1 person is voting. What do you plan to do to energize the whole base to come out and vote for you and vote for the issues you stand for?
Well, honestly, I really believe in the strength of unity. I want to provide a safe space for every voice to be heard, every issue to be addressed, and basically everyone's idea to be considered. I feel like some people feel like because they're not at certain political standings, their ideas are invalid, or because they come from certain backgrounds, their ideas aren't as important. I want everyone to feel like your ideas are valuable, important. I want everybody to feel like they have a place and feel comfortable regardless of your gender, political affiliation, race, background, because Lafayette, we don't have African American women elected in our local government. So I want to provide a safe space for them to feel like their voices are heard, and truly reaching the youth in ways we never seen before. Because I believe they say we can't teach old dogs new tricks, but I believe we could get a bigger return on our investment if we reach out to the youth. I feel like if we start young, teach them the importance of being civically engaged, when they get in high school, basically jam it back into them, the importance of going vote, so we don't have that's happening now in the Capitol. I want to be more of a preventative. If we can stress how important it is to vote, I feel like that is the best chance we have at a better future in democracy here in Lafayette, for sure.
Okay, well, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Eureka Ross, DPEC District 5.